Hi, hello, marvelous entrepreneurs. So today onwards, I'm starting 100 days training for those members who are interested in doing affiliate marketing. There are quite a number of members who are interested in taking up affiliate marketing, and this series of videos is for them. Now, we will be going step by step. This is a 100% proven system of process or the steps what we are following here. So you are all requested to follow the same procedure. Don't overthink. After all, like even Russell Brunson also says that why reinvent the wheel when somebody has already set a proven system. Let us just follow it. Because like a lot of people had followed that system and has got achievement, so we are only trying to follow them. So the first series starts today, and I'll share a small video for you. So listen to this video. Because our first lesson is on mindset. The first day, because we had been following certain things and doing things in certain way, and we have not achieved the result till now. So it is very important that we start doing things in differently. We think different. And what exactly has to be done? You just watch this video.
I'm often asked, because I've coached a lot of them, Dan, how is it that successful entrepreneurs think differently from other people? And my first answer is that, well, first of all, that entrepreneurs, period, think differently than other people for two reasons. Number one is that they take total responsibility for their own financial success and security in the world, where a lot of people are looking for an employer to actually do that for them, to take responsibility, or the government, or some other institution who's going to actually be responsible for their their financial welfare. And so that's the first way that entrepreneurs are different. And the second way that entrepreneurs are different, they understand that they don't get paid until they first of all create value. So they don't get paid if they don't create value, and they don't get paid first if they don't create value. So there's this sense that they have to always they always have to be useful in the eyes of the consumer, and they may it doesn't matter how important or how valuable or how useful what you do is in your own mind. That you think that what you do is really superb and really wonderful, but unless someone who wants to write a check for that, it's not really worth anything at all. And that's a hard thing for a lot of people to succeed at. So that's the general difference between entrepreneurs and non-entrepreneurs. And that's not to say that there aren't lots of people who aren't entrepreneurs who don't take responsibility for themselves and don't realize they have to create value. But they're the exceptions in their world, where just to be an entrepreneur and to survive as an entrepreneur, you have to have. Now, the second question is, what's the difference between entrepreneurs, period, and really successful entrepreneurs? Because I think that's what every entrepreneur wants to know. Where is the useful differences that I focus on in my own performance based on the performance of the best performing entrepreneurs. We're always looking for, how do the superstars do it? That's in any area of life, but especially in the entrepreneurial world. And so I'll use the term superstar because they operate in a way that is just dramatically different, dramatically better, and dramatically bigger than ordinary entrepreneurs. And my sense is that this is what I'm going to describe here has probably always been true, but it's being magnified and multiplied more in the 21st century than it was in the previous centuries. And that is that instead of trying to solve problems in the marketplace, known problems in the marketplace, the really great entrepreneurs are only interested in creating new capabilities. So if I were to use a percentage, I would say that probably 95% of all entrepreneurs are trying to solve existing problem. So it's the clients and customers need something solved, but in many ways it's the client or customers who are defining the activity of the entrepreneur. But the really great entrepreneurs really aren't interested in solving a problem. They're very fascinated and motivated to create a new capability. And one of my real role models here, and he may be one of the greatest role models in the history of entrepreneurship, is Steve Jobs at Apple, because Steve Jobs, during the entire time that he was at Apple, both the first time he was there and then when he came back, never did focus groups. He would never bring in customers and clients and ask them what they needed. What were their problems? What did they want to solve? But instead, what he focused on, he said, if there was a really new capability I wanted for myself in the world, what would it be? And, one of the answers was, I would like to be able to operate a computer without knowing code. And a lot of people don't know this, but Steve Jobs isn't a great technology guy. And so he said, it just got easier for me. I could just have click. I could just click. He didn't invent, but he was the one who made it famous, was called the graphic user interface, where instead of learning code and punching in code, all you did with the mouse is that you clicked. You clicked on the cursor, you clicked on, and you got the program. Things switch for everything. So everybody in the computer world now uses graphic user interface. But the reason why Apple was the first to use graphic user interface faster than anyone else is because Steve Jobs wanted this capability for himself. The other thing is, he said, with cell phones, which have been around for many years before Steve Jobs was there, and he said, why don't I would like to have a capability where this could connect to the internet, and I could have all sorts of different functions on the internet, all sorts of what got called applications, where if there was any kind of new electronic capability, I would just be able to download it to my phone. And that created the Apple Store, and you had iTunes where you could download things, and you had the iPhone. And so his rule was that where all projects get started is that I want a particular new capability myself, and if it really works for me, probably a lot of other people will want to have it. And I don't have to worry about what needs are. I don't have to worry about their problems. I'm just going to take things that I need personally for my life. And he wrapped a formula around this. And this is the second part. So first of all, the great entrepreneurs develop new capabilities for themselves. And the second part of it is the great entrepreneurs build a formula around their capabilities that are always the same. So for Apple, the formula is we make beautiful technology that people love using. And this is a formula that, when you think about it, it could last for 100 years. So I saw an article once, and they said that Apple is most likely of the great technology companies today to be still in operation 100 years from now. And the reason is they have a formula, so it doesn't really matter what kind of technology is being made. And so they can adjust to any kind of technology. But the one thing is that it has to be beautiful technology. It has to be beautifully packaged. It has to be, the experience of using it has to be sort of a beautiful experience. And the individuals, the customers and clients who are using the technology love the experience. So they have. So I would say, going back to the question, what is the difference between entrepreneurs in general and great entrepreneurs, is that great entrepreneurs don't try to solve problems. They try to create capabilities that they themselves want to have. And then they have a formula so that no matter how technology changes, how the world changes, how the marketplace, the economy changes, they have a single strategy that they can stay with forever. And I found that when you give these two differentiating points to most entrepreneurs, they can make very, very rapid progress in identifying the capabilities that don't exist that they would like to have themselves, and also that they can create a formula that they can stay with forever. And all of a sudden, what might have been just sort of a reasonably successful entrepreneur, they immediately make this to being a truly great entrepreneur.
Hi. So that was a great insight what we all received. See, that is the major difference between an entrepreneur and a non-entrepreneur. An entrepreneur always knows what capabilities he or she wants to develop or learn. Number two, what formula are you going to apply to develop or learn this capability which you are lacking? Number three, what is the single strategy that you are going to use to develop, to retain this capacity or capability which you have learned? So these are three questions which I am posing you today. We will come back tomorrow with another session on mindset. The first week will be on mindset. Thank you. Stay marvelous, affiliate entrepreneurs.